when I tell someone like, oh, I run cross country, people are like, oh, we have a cross country team? I didn't know that.
The women's cross country team, it's a great group of ladies.
General meet day, depending on where the meet is, can involve waking up very early and cramming into a yellow school bus and being bussed out to who knows where, run for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then be bussed back.
I know this is corny, but like anyone can be a runner if you want to be, because like it's just about making yourself do it and getting yourself in the mindset.
The fact that they're really enjoying it, that they make friends and build the camaraderie, those are the key things. And if we have those in place, the success in terms of wins and losses is going to come.
In the 2009 season, that success did indeed come for Coach Fury and the Emerson Lions.
Last year's team was stacked. It was probably the best team in the history of the GNAC that's been around for maybe 15 or 16 years.
The year before, we weren't like as good and we didn't really win a lot. And suddenly we were just like, wait a second, we're good. Like, what is going on? Like, we can do this.
As the season went on, the girls' rankings only went up. The team suddenly found themselves at the conference championship with a chance to win the title.
We were so psyched for it. I think a lot of us, though, were more psyched to do it for Coach, because he knew we had a shot. He knew we were close. He knew we could do it. And we were like, you know, we can't blow this.
And on race day, Emerson finished with 3 runners in the top 10 spots, including first and second place, to win the championship.
Winning the championships was feather in the cap. It was amazing. It was a great team. We always have a great crew, and that crew is pretty great.
As the school year ended, the team parted ways for the summer until practice will resume next fall. Then, on July 25th, tragedy struck. Incoming senior and co-captain of the team, Grace Caskey, was on her way home to Chicago when she was killed in a car accident in Santa Maria, California. She was 21 years old.
I had been out on a run that morning. I came back, there was a message from Coach on my phone, which was odd because usually Coach will send an email. So I was kind of like, what's up? Okay, so I called him back, nothing. So I sent him an email, and then he called me again, and he said, you know, I have some bad news about Grace. And then he said she was in a bad car accident in California, and she didn't make it.
That was a really bad day. Because it was just like, I didn't believe it. I mean, I was like, no, I read the Facebook message, and literally it was just like, this can't happen. But then I called Kat and looked into it, and
Grace was definitely my favorite person to run with on the team. It was always a lot easier with her running right there next to me. Grace.
When I first met her, I just remember being like, this girl is really crazy and awesome. You're so cool. You don't care what anyone thinks, and you just like love the world.
Funny, happy, definitely a quirky personality, but in a great way. She made everybody want to go to practice. She was the ringleader.
Like she was terrified of pigeons.
It was either pigeons or squirrels would absolutely drive her crazy and freak her out. She'd be running, doing intervals, and
so she'd run like so far out of the way to not have to deal with the pigeons.
A squirrel would come in her path and look at her, and she'd start screaming and hide behind a tree. And she was a funny kid. She always kept it interesting, and she was a joy to be around.
Along with an exceptional personality, Grace was a very accomplished runner, completing her first Boston Marathon this past April, alongside 4 of her teammates.
She's, oh my God, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I'm probably gonna be terrible. You know, the whole thing. We knew she was gonna do fine.
We were all like freaking out. We're like, oh my God, what if we have to go to the bathroom? What should we wear? We were wearing enough layers.
You know, first thing I'm doing after this, I'm going to a bar. And we were like, really? And she's like, yeah, I'm going straight to a bar afterwards. And look, I got perfume. I have perfume and wristband here that I'm gonna bring out. You know, I'm gonna put some on afterwards so I don't smell so bad. Classic.
And she was strong. She was definitely ready for it. And then when I saw her at mile 20, she's like, oh, this is tough, but I'm doing good. Just make sure they have silver blankets at the finish line was her classic quote. People love those silver blankets. She did a real good job. She ran a little over 4 hours. She said, you know, it was a great event. She was thrilled to do it. And she said, I'm gonna come back next year and see what I can do.
when it comes to running, like she's such a talented runner, but it wasn't ever about that for her. It was about, you know, having fun, talking to the team, joking around, making a connection.
I talked to her on email probably a week before she died, and she was definitely stressed out about senior year. I think a lot of things were kind of coming to a head. And she sent me an email. She's like, Coach, I know I'm captain. I know we have a really great team next year, and I want to be a part of it, but I'm so concerned that I'm going to come in a little bit out of shape. And my reply to her was like, Grace, I don't care if you come in out of shape. It's your leadership and your personality that's most important. We all know you're a good runner, and you'll work your way into shape as the season goes on. But we still need you there just because of the way you are. And what I said to her was heartfelt. I said, you know, we just want you around on the team because you're a great kid for everybody to be around. And that was that.
With the loss of Grace, along with several graduating seniors, the team faced a lot of questions heading to the fall of 2010.
This year's team, we have a lot more kids, but a lot of rookies, a lot of novices that really have never run before. We exceeded expectations this year. We had a couple of sophomores that really stepped up. We had a girl from Berkeley that hadn't run before that did great. Kids gelled from the veteran leadership, our three captains, Kat, Katie, and Jeannie. Totally hospitable to the new kids.
We were just so energetic this year and so like crazy. Like at first, like we didn't really know each other, and we started out a little shy. Now before every meets, we like just go crazy on the start line, and we like roar because we're lions, and it seems silly, but it just makes us all come together so much more.
I've never seen the team so big before, and I've also never seen the team so close before. This has really been like a seamless transition. It's not the same, obviously, but I think we've all sort of moved on in a really positive way.
Emerson, led by newcomer Heather Hoagland and senior captain Kat Villazzoni, took third in the 2010 conference championships. Hoagland and Villazzoni were named to the all-conference team, while John Fury earned Coach of the Year honors for the second year in a row. And even with their competitive nature, the cross-country team still emphasizes it's all about having fun.
It's enjoyable, simply because you have a great crew of kids. They have a lot of fun. The workouts can be hard, but it really helps you to keep that balance in life. You end up meeting a great crew of kids that you end up being lifelong friends with.
And it's clear, for those still left on the team who knew Grace well, her friendship and impact still remain.
She was my inspiration. I wanted to be as good of a runner as her.
Even though she's not here or with us anymore, she inspires me every day when I run, especially when I'm running up Beacon Hill.
This girl did so much while she was in my life for such a short time, and she was amazing. But the thing is, I know if she was here, she'd be like, oh, stop it, Katie, that's not true. And I'm just like, no, Grace, really, you're amazing. Like, she is such an amazing person.
We love you. We miss you so much. Your spirit lives. The type of person that you are, we think about you all the time, and we'll try to live our lives like we should based on your example.